We have smoke from Canada, fire in the mountain. So this is the launch. Hey Bruce, haven't seen you in a while. So we're launching tomorrow at noon Eastern. We could do like a Q&A kind of a thing. There we go. Still working, Bruce? I'm sure. Okay. So here it is. ReconstructionUSA.com. It's very unassuming. It's totally minimalist. Okay. Here it is. Now, if you're a subscriber, and you can do that for free, you got an invitation to this from Camille, who built this. Now, it's like, oh, okay, what do we got there? There's nothing there. That's the point. It's all business, people. It's all business. Okay, attach a file, submit the file. So what this is a portal into DeepSeek, which is API'd. If you don't know what that means, that's a kind of link of technologies between DeepSeek and Chain Opera. So we are building agents as you feed this thing. We're building the agents that sit up on top of it. So just digest that for a second. So here's what I want you to do this weekend. Get on your favorite AI, pick your favorite story that you want to get involved with, regenerative agriculture, building homes for the young or something like that, renewing something. Just go goofy, just go crazy with it. Make a file, download the file onto your computer or iPad or what have you, and submit it into this. Now, okay, who cares? Okay, that's step one. What that's going to do is it's going to pull, and you know it's going to happen, right? Most of your submissions are going to be very similar. They're going to be like urban renewal, rural renewal, opportunity zones, all the stuff you've heard me talk about, right? So it's just going to pull those up and it's just going to spin its wheels. And the agents that are local, this is the part that Chain Opera built. Chain Opera is built by federated machine learning. You are feeding the machine. You are training the machine. We are building a reconstruction machine. This isn't touching the face of God and Sam Altman bullshit and all that. That's the old thing. That's dying. It's going to kill the stock market. It's going to kill the bond market. Don't ask me exactly how, but like it's already started. It started primarily in Korea, but I've talked enough about that. I don't need to get into that. We're moving on, people. We're moving on. And we're moving on from the wars and the Trump's goofball, conspiracies about China and all that. It's over. It's done. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Lindsey Graham is dead, and it's just over. I mean, you want to keep going on about it? That's fine. I'm happy to do it. We're going to talk about Chinese AI here in a minute. So I'm going to send, after this, I'm going to send a piece I made yesterday, and I asked if the Trump administration could go after DeepSeek the way they went after TikTok. Well, the problem is DeepSeek is open source. In other words, you could go to the Apple Store this weekend. You need some pretty good hardware. You need some big, heavy-duty stuff. But you could download not the absolute most powerful DeepSeek system, but like right underneath it in terms of capacity, and you could just do it locally. The whole AGI, Anthropic, OpenAI, building data centers the size of Manhattan, it's over. This is the alternative. Now, can I take credit for like the tech? No, but you've been hearing this from me for like 5 years. This was specifically, if you go deep into the weeds of chain opera, it's built for fintech because they can see that that's where the ultimate scalability is. It's free. You don't have to give us any information. We don't need your wallet address. We don't need your email. We don't need anything. So just go make a big fat file that you want to do. I'll show you the one that I did. And it's funny, like I live here in Somerset County, off and on. And I sat down one sort of preparing for this Friday night thing. I was like, all right, I'm going to like take over Somerset County. I just put all the crazy shit I could together. And I couldn't believe the outcome, even as much as I've thought about this and talked about it and everything. I have like 42 pages of this massive program for Somerset County, which I'm going to download into this, and it's just going to pull it up. And what it's going to do, it's going to sit there and it's going to read coal, agriculture, abandoned dairy farms and stuff like that. And everybody up and down the Appalachian Mountains, it's going to be the exact same thing, the exact same kinds of issues, resolutions, legal documents, everything. This is what AI is, people. AI is not asking ChatGPT if you should break up with your girlfriend. That's not what this is. That's not what AI is. That's silly. That's just a real misunderstanding of what compute can do. So again, it's just make a file, put the file on your computer, hit the attach files. You've done this a million times. It's like a paperclip. Submit the files. Okay, hold on. Don't go away. Now, at first, you're going to be like, okay, what's that going to do? Stay with me. Phase 2. Musical interlude. But you're here alone. No sip of Guinness if it's all right with you. And mercy's a business. I wish it for you. More than just ashes when your dreams come true. Fire on the mountain. When you see this map, I had no idea. I grew up here. And I think this is the point. I think you're going to get into things and you're going to be amazed at the scale of the opportunity, right? Like, look at this map. That's all the strip mines in Somerset County. There's 258 of them that are abandoned. Like tens of thousands of acres. Just sitting there, nobody knows what to do with it. You can't grow anything, you can't graze cattle, you can't plant corn, you can't put a house. It's just, the only thing to do on there is wait for it, sheep. So then I got on to Manus. I said, make a plan to do, strip mine reclamation using sheep and blah, blah, just sort of bullshit with it. Just make it up as you go. And Manus goes into multiple LLMs, as does DeepSeek. So as you're talking to it, asking these questions, it's blasting out to all the LLMs and seeing where it can get the best information, then packaging that for you and then putting it in documentation. Next week, I have a reason to see our local congressman. I'm going to take this to them. So I'm going to put this into Reconstruction USA. I'm going to hand a paper copy of it to probably the office manager of our local congressman. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? Then I go in and I say, okay, why don't we because the size of the operation would be so big. I said, and I've always had this in the back of my mind, and once in a while on here I talk about it. Why don't we just train veterans? And it goes boom with 23 pages of why this is the perfect thing to do for veterans. They referenced research that like farming and animals are soothing to people whose basic problem is a kind of PTSD because their parasympathetic nervous system can't ever come back down, right? So like, it's the same reason we go fishing and go to the beach and so forth, except they just have it times 20. And then I just said, okay, make the project bigger and bigger and bigger, and let's do. And I was like, okay, why don't we use right down the road, like just out of eyeshot, shot, is the if you remember, there were 9 miners trapped in an underground mine about 20 years ago, 25 maybe, and the last guy out lives in that house right there. Can't quite see it, but it's right down the road. Mines filled with water. So I said to Manus, I said, well, what's the opportunity for small scale data centers? And it was like, it's funny because it creates like a fake personality, right? It's just a machine, it's just a computer, and it was like, what a great idea. So it goes through and it looks to see what deep mines are filled with water, trillions of gallons at 52 degrees, trillions, like Lake Erie underground. It rains here a lot. So you have an unlimited supply of coolant water. Like you could pull it up here and push it 200 yards and run it right back in the same. You could never exhaust the ability of the earth to take the heat away. And you have coal and you have natural gas, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm telling you all these stories. Most people, when you start talking about this kind of like decentralized finance and investing, they want to focus everything on the project. And while I'm talking about the project, what I'm really trying to get you to do is just let your brain just expand and what we're doing here is letting the AI solve all the problems, letting the AI do all the underwriting, letting the AI make the things, what's the word, doable, the art of the possible. You can't overwhelm it with data and information and wacky ideas. So then I went, okay, let's grow sheep cheese and mushrooms underground. It goes, great idea. And there's 8 pages of sheep cheese and mushrooms. And because it's 100,000 acres or whatever it is, let's do motorcycle trails. And it goes, and it runs that out. And then it creates budgets and employment opportunities. You just can't wear it out, right? Just stay with me. I'm going to show you what comes next. So next comes Zillow. Okay. Right now, we just have a portal. Next comes something that looks like Zillow. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Now, you understand that this has been built on the chain Opera architecture, which this is really key that you walk away from this, which has an API already built in with DeepSeek. There's no way we could overload this thing. There's no 1,000 people could upload documents in the next 20 minutes, and DeepSeek will just take it all in. Now, at some time, we're going to have to start paying significant amounts of money for tokens. DeepSeek is 95% cheaper than any American tech. We're going to talk about President Xi just had an AI conference this week. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. This is all happening like while we did this. Like I didn't know all this shit was going to happen. The stock market, the barn is on fire, people. I mean, go look at it's mainly happening in Korea. It always starts someplace like small and fragile, and then it goes from there. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm sick of the stock market. It's boring. It's dumb. It's trillions of dollars that have no purpose. They went about it the wrong way. They tried to make a digital Yahweh in the West Texas desert, and China handed their fucking head to them. Where is it? I start building things and I forget what I named them. Okay, so I'm going to publish this thing called Can Trump Ban Open Source AI? They would like to. They would like to TikTok it. They would like to take it over, but it's open source. It would be like trying to ban the chords of a Beatles song. Like, how's that going to work? All you have to do is know the 8 chords or whatever, and you can make it happen. You can make, not that you could build, lay people could build 2/3 of anything that DeepSeek was made by one guy in China. Okay, there's that. Okay, Zillow. I'll send you a screenshot of it. So you get on Zillow and you get a map, right? And you find you're looking in Wexford, PA, which is like north of Pittsburgh, and it gives you like the neighborhood and you can see the little dots. You've probably been on it, right? And then Todd in here, hold on. So next time you come back to Reconstruction USA, what it's going to do is it's going to take everything that you guys are feeding it and it's going to start to populate it. And it's going to populate it in your zip codes. It's going to populate it in your area codes. It's going to populate it in the opportunity zones. Like the map that I just showed you, a lot of that is either in an opportunity zone or very, very close to it. So it's going to Zillow all this. And then we've already instructed it to make, let's call it make the outlines of the fund structures based on the zip codes and the opportunity zones. And they all have a number, right? Your zip code has a number, your area code has a number. So it just starts to register how much activity's in there. How many people have come in? How many commitments are there for capital? How many indications of interest? The ideas. You'll be able to click through and click through and click through and just pull up your world and go, the word you should use is hyper local. Everything, if you think about it, like if you turn on Bloomberg tonight and just sit there with a cocktail and look at it, everything is about taking your money somewhere else. Everything is about taking your money overseas, giving it to big corporations, giving it to big fund structures like BlackRock. When does the money come back? That's Reconstruction. If you look at the real problem, everything is coming back this way, people. The, the war in Russia, insane. Iran, insane. China's 10 years behind in AI. Remember that story? Whenever Trump was first elected, I think Elon Musk said that. They're not 10 years behind anymore. Kimi just laid out a very, very high-end coding thing, and it's 97.3% of anything that American AI can do, and it's open source. The whole American AI project is done. It's done. And I've been telling you before Trump, not because I figured it out. I don't know anything about technology. I don't know anything about coding or anything, but the people that do were like, no, you're going to run that on your laptop. So, I never say this is not investment advice because it just pisses me off that people even have to say that, because if you look on Substack, it says it's philosophy and technology. But it's done. It's a done deal. This project, I mean, what is American AI for? Killing people. And the attempt to have this whole thing controlled by C Corps on the NASDAQ. This is what I've been saying. If you really spend a couple hours a day studying technology like I do, it's not happening at the big C Corps. It's not happening at Microsoft. The CEO even gets up and said, we'll just all be running our open source AI. Now, let's go. We're going to talk about China here in a minute. I have to look for one other thing. Just give me a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, good, 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 good. So here's our draft for the Zillow. And what's what's amazing, hopefully this is still operational, this link, just give me a second. So using AI, we said, go build Zillow. And like I made oatmeal or something like that and came back with a cup of coffee and boop, there it is. But here's the part I want you to understand. It's functional. So this is main. Let's see if it still works. So of its own accord, it locked and loaded the USA spending from the federal government, like how much it is, and in the opportunity zones. It shows the zip code coverage. It shows the area codes. So if I click on, there you go. So I just watch this. So I'm clicking through zip codes, and over here it's showing all the data. Like it's already built, people. Like we have to fluff it up a little bit, and watch. It's Zillow and the map around. Like the whole Bruno fantasy for 5 years is right here. Well, I still don't understand. Okay. So you're going to drill down and you're going to find this is area code 207. Let's find one that has, okay, this one is, this one looks like a, near Brunswick. I don't know Maine very well, but looks like a more urban area, even though there's very much, not very much urban area. So this has 46.8 square miles. It is a opportunity zone. The map has outlined it. Let's see what happens when I touch it. See, it's all operational. It's just like Zillow. So it's crazy. You're going to be like, there's no way they built this. This is AI, people. Welcome to AI. This is what they've been telling us all along. You're just like, I was going to say losers, but like losers can build really cool shit now. Like imagine if we had to code this thing from scratch. I'd have to have a team of 20 budget of $2 million a year. Camille did this, by the way. This is Camille. So if you want to send a DM that says, thanks, Camille, that's really cool. Camille did this. Camille did the whole thing. So this is coming behind that real simple reconstruction facade that's just asking, we don't need your money. We don't need your area code, you don't have to tell us anything about you. You can just say, I think it would be really great if we made, I don't know, dried cranberry cookies in Maine or whatever weirdo fantasy, like let's grow sheep on strip mines. Like that doesn't really come to mind as any sort of legitimate economic activity. But if you have the plumbing, that's the plumbing. In other words, when 782 people in that area lock and load on that opportunity zone and they commit, I don't know, $800,000 or maybe we put a minimum of $1 million or whatever it is. And they go, okay, we're ready for the documentation. It's just going to go boop right into their emails. And it's going to go boop right to the lawyers, right? And all the documentation is all ubiquitous. Whether they're going to do, I know you guys aren't interested in this, but the regulations are like, is it accredited only? Is it up to this number? Do we need a Reg A plus? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff that nobody cares about. We'll just do it behind the machine, behind the Zillow front. The third stage is going to be what I'm calling Fortnite. Have you ever seen somebody play Fortnite? It's a video game where you build things. Maybe I should put another one in there called Settlers of Catan, because this is going to turn into Settlers of Catan. Because you're going to tell your friends and family, like, I did this thing for this thing. There's that thing going on. They're selling that little college or something up there and that opportunity zone. Like, we could all like buy this and we could do some stuff with it. Well, how much? I don't know. It's like 4 million. I mean, get these phone calls all the time. But the point is, don't like think that the point of all this is like, we're going to go buy a Dairy Queen in Michigan, which is great. You can go buy, I don't care what you buy. The point is to build the infrastructure so that people finally go, why do we send all our money to BlackRock and ETFs and make the stock market go to 41 times cyclical Shiller earnings? And then the whole thing turns to shit because nobody's allocating the money. That's why. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I've told you this for 5 years. There's $60 trillion that nobody's managing. Carl Icahn is like, if that's the way we're going to invest, that can be run by the post office. This is the alternative. And this is the alternative to this asshole who thinks that AI is mainly for killing people. And now we don't have any fucking American AI because this is what we've focused on. This is the alternative, people. Get the joke here? Reconstruction, war, civil war. One day you're going to wake up. It's going to be like the end of Gone with the Wind. Here we are. The war is fucking insane. Shooting missiles into St. Petersburg is insane. China has completely train wrecked us on this AI thing. Now let's go to that. As the usual, go to Substack. This guy should be on your radar at all times. Shanaka. He's Shanaka the cover off the ball. It's not a very good pun, but we gotta use what we got. There he is. Where do you hear this article? I'm gonna just read excerpts from it. We're freezing Iran's money with our fucking tether thing. Like, this is all we are. It's like surveillance and kill. No one's going to work on that shit. No one wants to like kill people and like shut people's stuff down. Everything is open source. Whenever you get lost in crypto, blockchain, AI, anything, there's those people that are killing kids and there's open source. It's over. It's over. Okay, if you go back. By the way, the word artificial intelligence goes back to like the 1950s. Seriously. The early questions about AI, I forget the guy's name. I think he studied at Yale like I did. And he wrote a book called Heideggerian AI. And what he argued is they're going to get the concept of AI wrong because their ideas about language are wrong in the 1960s. So what we set off to do with Sam Altman, who was literally fired for lying to his board, that's $1 trillion company that's going to zero. OpenAI is going to zero. "70 years after a group of American scholars coined the term artificial intelligence at Dartmouth, President Xi Jinping stood in Shanghai on stage and cited that workshop by name and launched a rival order for governing what they invented. It was Xi's first appearance at China's flagship AI conference since it began in 2018. Premiers handled the previous 8. The head of state showing up today is the real message. The deliverables were specific. WAICO, W-A-I-C-O, the AI cooperation organization China floated last year, was declared born today, headquartered in Shanghai. It's crazy that we're releasing Reconstruction the same day. 5,000 AI training places for developing countries over 5 years. This is exactly what you've heard from me. We're going to set these things up at the land-grant universities and the community colleges, right? Cooperation centers with 6 named blocks: the Arab League, the African Union, CELAC, SCO, and the BRICS. This is why we're doing area codes, states, zip codes, opportunity zones. It's the exact same thing. An AI weather warning system called Mazu. Sorry, I'm going to unbutton this, but it's hot because it's humid at this time of the day. On the show floor beside the diplomacy, Huawei debuted their new Atlas 950 advanced packaging chip. Like I told you, the best chips are going to be made in-house. They're going to be customized, and it's called advanced packaging. It's literally like a sandwich. It's like making a sandwich. Thousands of homegrown chips fused into one cluster. The American Free Stack made physical. More than 300 products premiered around it. Inside the speech sat two speeches. The first attacked the gates. Xi warned against stretching national security as an economic weapon, an unmistakable reference to U.S. export controls, and pledged that AI must not create what he called the new historical injustice. Rich nations hoarding the technology the way they once hoarded industry. Every line lands because the gates are real. Chips rationed, models licensed across tiers. The second speech was the one he did not give. Beijing this month restricted export of their own flagship frontier models. Domestic models passed political review before release. The openness on offer runs on Chinese hardware, Chinese standards, Chinese jurisdictions. Both facts are true at once. The open society runs the export license. The closed society is handing out the syllabus. DeepSeek's global usage, and this is what, whenever you plug into Reconstruction USA, you're basically going to go use whatever AI you're comfortable with. I don't care. Whatever, if you've had ChatGPT and you're comfortable with it, it's on your phone, whatever. As you know, I use Manus a lot. I have Kimi on my phone. I have DeepSeek on my phone. But I can tell you the last time I used DeepSeek, it was like it was like feeding grapes to a hippopotamus or something. You just knew that there's nothing you could feed it and it wouldn't just go like there's the response, like massive throughput. Massive throughput. So, like, hang out with your friends this weekend and make up some wacko story of you're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna like make chicken sandwiches out of alligator in the bayou or something. And how are we gonna distribute this? And can we do a deal with Red Lobster? Whatever wacko thing you can come up with. And what you're doing is you're making it spin its wheels to think about how things operate locally and non-locally at the same time. And then send it to a friend. Like literally, like just send it to your friend who's like a banker or like a lawyer or something. Like, how would we do this? And ask them to ask the AI to make the changes. And throw this thing around. Won't even cost anybody anything until you get 50 pages and lock and load. I think that's what we're going to say, because Americans like everything to be like a little bit militaristic. Make a big plan and lock and load. Think big and lock and load. DeepSeek's global usage share doubled. Usage share, not usage. The share doubled. The UN met on AI governance in Geneva several days ago and produced a communique. China produced an organization with a headquarters, a host city, and membership drive aimed at the majority of countries the Western AI governance treats as an afterthought. This is the Belt and Road playbook ported from concrete to code. What a great sentence, huh? Capacity building is standard setting. The trainee learns on your stack. And what I'm telling you, it's the other way around. You're gonna feed the stack. You're gonna train the stack, not to kill people, not to hallucinate about whether or not you should break up with your girlfriend. The ministry adopts your protocols. The region inherits your defaults. Nobody tolls this road because in a standards war, free is the most expensive price there is. There's no cost to this. We're not going to put a toll on that Reconstruction USA. In other words, you're creating value. Now, when we get more developed, you're going to be, as we pull people into agents, into operating agents, and to actually offering capacity through a blockchain system that's a lot like Ethereum nodes. Okay. Chainhopper will just drip a little bit of their coin to you for making that data function available. See where we're going with this? These big fantasy projects in the West Texas desert don't work. They're goofy. It was to pull the wool over your eyes. It was to tell this big story of why we have to beat China and we have to kill people, and Scarp, jokes about spraying people with fentanyl piss. Like, the people running the American system are so toxic that President Xi goes up and goes, well, this is how we're going to do it. I'm telling you, what I just explained to you about Reconstruction USA, it actually sounds like what President Xi just explained. I don't have to keep repeating myself. I mean, here are the books. You've heard it for 5 years. This is like a religious thing. This is like a religious thing. This is like a religious thing. And that's why they lost. They want to turn the whole fucking world into Palestine with their AI. And nobody wants that. People are funny that way. They don't want their kids to be bombed and killed and raped and eaten. It's funny. All right. So have some fun tonight. Go do something. Go, like, I have a little bit of a fetish for this like hybrid car thing. I think people are going to start building their own cars. I really do. I think people are going to start building like their own housing, modular housing, mobile housing, like a 24-year-old to buy stocks and take on debt. I just talked to my stepson today about it. But and funny, he's good with numbers. He might be recruited into this, but let's all calm down. He's good with numbers. He's a good gambler. He's Irish, by the way. He's my stepson, and he's my redheaded stepson. And let's see if the picture's here. Look at that little thing. That's good stuff. He says, yeah, you buy a $400,000 house and you pay $1.2 million for it. That's true. If you've ever done like a mortgage calculator, you pay principal and interest, and like you actually pay for the house 3 times. 23-year-olds that just graduated from college should go buy a $7,000 school bus and turn it into an apartment, a mobile home, and go find some strip mine to park it on, and raise sheep and hang out with their friends and grow a little weed or whatever. Like, it's going to change, people. Like, this isn't going to work. We're not going to like run the NASDAQ, to like, there's nothing there. There's no earnings there. All the cash flow has been burned away into this wacko death machine. They lost. President Xi just took a victory lap. He's like, here, guys, we made all this stuff. Go have fun with it. That's exactly what I'm saying. Now, we're going to work behind the scenes. We're going to give you that Zillow interface. Then what's going to happen? What's going to happen next, right? We're going to start doing things, and you're going to drill down like social media, and you're going to see somebody building how to buy a $7,000 bus and turn it into something that looks like an apartment. Here's the materials. Here's this. Go find the buses. Here's the auctions where you find them. Here's how we built this one. You can call, Bob and Louis, whatever, like the people who were doing it, right? Social media. It's AI is less about commute and really more about social media. It's the training, the large language model thing is already done. The graph goes like this. That they don't need to spend any more money. They're not getting anything more out. It would be like you bought a Porsche and it's 700 horsepower, and you go, no, I need 1,000 horsepower. I need 1,400 horsepower. I need 2,000 horsepower. No matter where you ever drive that car, you're never going to use that extra horsepower. So the graph is rolling over like this. It's already a done deal, people. They pissed all their money away trying to control it all, connect it to Microsoft, connect it to the NASDAQ, connect it to Palantir, et cetera, create this massive, you understand that This is the biggest infrastructure build out in American history. Just happened, and we lost. It would be like FDR built all the big CCC projects and bridges and the dams and shit, and everything fell down. That's what just happened. I'm really the only guy that will explain this to you because there's so much vested interest in the media, the financial media, the Tucker Carlsons, the fake alternative media, to have you come back and like believe that they have some answer. They don't have answers for anything. I mean, did you watch Trump last night? It's over. He's done. He has nothing. He's going to lose this fall and he's going to blame it on China and no one's going to care. So this is it, people. You've heard it from me. We need Reconstruction. Maybe someday it's going to be like Reconstruction. We're going to need like some sort of Reconstruction kind of, we have it. It's right there. Camille, build it. Tomorrow at noon, we'll do a Q&A. DM me. We'll come on here. It'll be real relaxed. We'll just be like, well, what if I do this? And can I put this on this? Use any AI you want. There's no cost. We're not going to tick you for any amount of money. I always wanted this thing to be like open source. And if you really want to if you want to help the project, subscribe. If you want to be a partner, we're taking it like today, we took in one partner and that's rolling in and it's 10 grand. Oh, speaking of that, do people want to do a partners thing in Nashville? Camille is in Chattanooga, and it's about a little over 2-hour drive to Nashville, and everybody loves Nashville, and it's an easy place to get in and out of. The airport's the right size. It's almost like dead center from a population standpoint to the continental United States. For those of you who have followed me for a long time, I spent about a year there. I just never found the tech people or the legal people that I needed, although it's a very nice place to get in and out of. But if you're a paid up partner and you'd like to like hang out and like really drill down into maybe it's your plan that you delivered and how do we do this? And my lawyer has some whatever, or my friend who's the excavator has these, all this extraneous stuff that you're like, I don't really believe you can pull. Well, we just did. We just pulled it off. It's there. It's there. The firepower of DeepSeek is, I know you can't, like, if you go watch television time, if you go watch CNBC, you're like, is this fucking guy like in his parents' farmhouse really build something bigger than OpenAI? Yeah, we did. Everything about Sam Altman is a lie. Everything. We're going to have artificial general intelligence. It's just going to like sort of like conjure itself into this infinite thing that's going to control. I mean, it's just, you need to like go to church or like meditate or something to all the bullshit that Americans believe is all bullshit. Everything, both sides of the aisle, Lindsey Graham, all of it is all bullshit. And when the war ends, you just look around and go, oh, I wonder where my kids are going to live. My granddaughter has a $517 student loan that she can't pay, and she hasn't been paying it for 18 months, and it's going to destroy her credit, and she's never going to be able to buy a house. Good. It's like the moment where somebody said to Christ, like, what do I need to do? But he says, sell everything and follow me. That's what's coming to America, people. This next generation is going to boycott everything. Look at these people. There's an article in the New York Times that like they're hiring security personnel for American tech companies. Who told you that? American tech is done. It's done because the resentment and we're just going to lay everybody off. The whole corporate C-suites of everybody since Trump came in, just going to fucking blow everybody out. Jack Welch, the whole fucking economy. And young people are like, okay, Well, we just won't participate in what you're doing, and we'll see who wins. It's here. It's now here. Think, what's your passion project combined with the social shortfalls the youth need addressed? Mike, I think what's going to happen is this is going to, even I had this thing where I was like, what? Like, I live here. I had no idea the extensiveness. By the way, the local coal companies went bankrupt, were sold to Rosebud for $15 million. It's $100 million in Clinton. In other words, the whole economy is just completely come to a halt, and nobody knows what to do about it. And I think the whole American economy is locking up. Not like 2008. Look, in 2008, your bank could have sent, when you were 90 days late, they could have just sent everybody a fucking letter and said, why don't you just pay us interest? Okay? And cut the foreclosures probably in half. Like the real foreclosures, the people that are going to lose their house, be thrown out of their house, whatever. No, the whole reaction was to save the financial system, not the real economy. And here we are now with the President of the United States who goes, unbelievable, we're $22 trillion. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's unbelievable. It's all fake. It's a $22 trillion fraud. And what it's going to do this time is the real economy is going to completely lock up. What does that look like? Well, once people start working with Reconstruction USA, they're going to be like, we don't even really need C Corps. That's right. And I can't even explain that to, like, it sounds preposterous. Once people realize that 5% of your investable assets put back into the real economy drives the real economy, like capitalism. Remember capitalism? Remember, like, people used to make money and like have a little bit of like leftover money, and then that would be like reinvested like into the economy, not into goofball fucking ETFs run by nobody. Once that catches hold, no one's going to ever buy software from Microsoft again. Anything you can do with Microsoft, you can do yourself on your laptop. And the CEO just admitted that. And then President Xi is like, here it is, everybody. Like, go have a good time with it. It's a little bit like when Elvis went on, what's the famous show? Whatever, the first time Elvis went on television, like the next day, like all the guitar shops sold out of guitars. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like, I don't know what I want to do with myself, but like I think there's a guitar involved. Like people like, it was like the day after Pearl Harbor, everybody lined up to like, go to the Marine Corps. Everybody went to the guitar store. I think what's going to happen is when people realize that this new technology has nothing to do with the Silicon Valley, nothing to do with the NASDAQ, nothing to do with Larry Ellison. It's on your laptop. Go do something weird. Go have a good time. Find other people. Find capital. Now let's all calm down for a minute. What we'll really bring to the table, see, when I did this, I didn't know if I was going to make like a financial thing and it turned out to be a tech thing. I didn't anticipate that. But if you guys know the story, I learned about blockchain. Guy delivered a strategy to a healthcare company, and I said, oh my God, that's going to take over finance, and there's not 1,000 people that understand it. And he said, yeah, you're right about both of those things. So I always thought I was going to come on here and make some sort of financial institution, a registered investment advisor, sort of a crowdfunding thing, a Reg A plus, and it turned out to be I'd made something with tech. And I had tried to do that over and over, but the people working on the project didn't understand the project. They didn't understand it. They didn't really believe in it. Like, what we're going to make like something alternative to mutual funds. Yeah, That's what we're going to do. That's what you do with technology. You disrupt big, boring, dumb industries. We just did it. It's all yours now. Like, go do something. Go fund 10,000 cattle somewhere. Go, I don't know. Go make a competitor to Starbucks. Go bake cookies and distribute them at Walmart. Whatever. Like, however you think you can affect the economy, either locally or beyond local or whatever. But everything starts small, of course, and grows, like the Led Zeppelin song says. Most of corporate power is just a toll gate. I wouldn't say that about things like, Coca-Cola has the formula and a distribution and production system that you can't compete with in any way, shape, or form, right? You really can't compete with Exxon at any sort of scale. But let's do healthcare. Healthcare is a complete clusterfuck. Education, post-secondary and primary, it's a complete disaster, right? The ability to if you have an idea, I think the phrase that Camille put in the email to you is community and capital. I sometimes use the word social capital. Americans are allergic to the word social, and that says something, but like community and capital sort of go together. And we've been told my whole life since Reagan, just give everything to the globalists or the corporations, make the stock market go up and everything will be okay. And now our kids are buying $500,000 houses. It didn't work. Jack Welch didn't work. Trump didn't work. Silicon Valley didn't work. Chamath Palihapitiya didn't work. OpenAI didn't work. And, the latest IPO is about going to Mars. Not just going to Mars, but putting 1 million people on Mars. Let's just say that maybe that's the ding. That's maybe the ringer of the stock market is 1 million people on Mars. Not a rover or something. Like, they jumped the shark. So, Reconstruction USA.com. So tomorrow at noon Eastern, we'll do a big fat Q&A. Like, get on your AI and just play, fuck around and find out. And then you'll probably be like, really? Like, it's this simple? Yeah. You don't have to solve all these problems. You get the joke here. With the AI actually wants you to deliver the problem to it, because everybody else in the system is going to make the same problems. For example, a lot of enterprises are too small. A lot of enterprises are undercapitalized. A lot of enterprises are over leveraged. A lot of enterprises only have access to capital at a bank. You ever sit and watch these credit card ads like, oh, you have a business. You need a credit card to fund everything. And, it'll just be 13% interest. And then if you fuck up, it'll be 33% interest. But now that you have this, I remember seeing I think it was Capital One or something. And this girl's like a rock singer. And she's traveling and she has a couple gigs and everything. She needs like a credit card to like make this happen, which is true, right? You need cash flow and you need instruments and so forth. But my point is like, we've been so taught that the only thing to do, everything we do in life includes some giant corporation who takes control of our life. And it just doesn't work. It's maxed out. The credit card is maxed out. It's maxed out. If I said to my stepson and his wife, they now have 2 kids, like, what if you could live in a barn dominium with no mortgage? They'd be like, I'm in. They'd be like, I'm in. Young people, you remember when you were young, they're just over it. They're just like, they see through all the conspiracies and Trump and Kamala Harris. Did you see Kamala Harris, like, gave a eulogy for Lindsey Graham? Like, there is no left and right, people. There's no left and right. There's no left and right. No left and right. There's just the kill chain. That's all America is anymore, is a fucking kill chain. And it's time for Reconstruction. See you tomorrow at noon Eastern. Tell a friend.